Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayesha bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, text number 42. Tataha anujñapaya Bhagavan svabhuvam prak avastitan vatsan pulinam aninye yatha purva sakham swakam tato anujñapya Bhagavan svabhuvam prag avastitam vatsan pulinam aninye yatha purva sakham swakam tato anujñapya Bhagavan svabhuvam prag avastitan vatsan pulinam aninye yatha purva sakham swakam tato anujñapya Bhagavan svabhuvam prag avastitan vatsan pulinam aninye yatha purva sakham swakam. Please chant. Matajis. Tataha, then, anujñapya, giving permission, Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, Svabhuvam, to his own son, Brahma, Prak, from before, Avastitan, situated, Vatsan, the calves, Pulinam, to the shore of the river, Aninye, he brought, Yatha Purva, just as before, Sakham, where the friends were present, Swakam, his own. Translation purport. After granting his son Brahma permission to leave, the Supreme Personality of Godhead took the calves who were still where they had been year earlier and brought them to the river bank where he had been taking his meal and where his cowherd boyfriends remained just as before. Purport. The word Swabhuvam to his own son indicates that Lord Krishna forgave the offense of Brahma had committed and treated him with affection as his son. It is stated in this verse that the original covered boyfriends and calves were situated just as before near the bank of the Yamuna river and in the forest, respectively. Previously, the calves had disappeared within the forest, and Lord Krishna had gone to search for them. Not finding them, the Lord had returned to the river bank to discuss the situation with his cowherd boyfriends, but they had also disappeared. Now the cows were once again in the forest, and the boyfriends once again on the bank of the river, ready to take their lunch. According to Sri Sanatana Goswami, the calves and the boys remained in the forest and in the river bank, respectively, for 1 full year. Lord Brahma did not actually take them away to another place. By the Lord's omnipotent illusory energy, the Gopis and other residents of Vrindavan did not notice the calves and boys, nor did the calves and the boys notice the passing of years' time or feel any hunger, cold, or thirst. All this was part of the pastime arranged by the Lord's illusory potency. Lord Brahma thought, I have kept all the boys and calves of Gokula sleeping on the bed of my mystic potency, and to this very day they have not risen. A similar number of boys and calves have been playing with Krishna for 1 whole year, yet they are different from the ones illusioned by my mystic potency. Who are they? Where did they come from? Nothing is invisible to the Supreme Lord. Thus, Lord Krishna appeared to be searching for the calves and boys, only to enact the dramatic pastime of bewildering Lord Brahma. After Brahma surrendered and offered prayers, Lord Krishna returned to the original boys and calves, who appeared exactly as before, although their size had somewhat increased because of 1 year's growth. According to Srila Vishwanath Thakur, since Lord Krishna was playing exactly like an innocent young cowherd boy in Vrindavan, after four-headed Brahma offered his prayers, the Lord maintained his role as a young cowherd boy and thus remained silent before Brahma. Krishna's silence indicates the following thoughts. Where did this four-headed Brahma come from? What is he doing? What are these words? He keeps on speaking. I am busy looking for my calves. I am just a cowherd boy and do not understand all this. Lord Brahma had considered Lord Krishna an ordinary cowherd boy and had treated him as such. After accepting Brahma's prayers, Krishna continued to play as a cowherd boy and thus did not answer the four-headed Brahma. Rather, Krishna was more interested in rejoicing his cowherd boy friends for the picnic lunch on the bank of the Yamuna river. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Nusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamalini Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye. So, Lord Brahma is now leaving Vrindavan. He is going to leave Vrindavan. Very interesting fact in this Leela is that when Krishna, when all of them they went to the shore of the milk ocean and prayed to the Lord said, all of you go and take birth and all. And then Brahmaji relayed the message that all of you go and take birth in Vrindavan here and there. But he did not take birth. All right? He did not join. Yeah. So now he is regretting, why I didn't take birth to join Krishna's pastimes. So he's going back, and this chapter, 10th canto, 14th chapter, and 4th canto, 24th chapter. Why do they, devotees offer prayers? What? Krishna is what? He likes to be flattered? Or does Krishna get any benefit if you go and offer prayers? Right? No. Naivatmana probrayam nijalabha punyo. In that shloka it is explained. He doesn't get any benefit. But the persons who are offering prayers to the Lord, they get benefit. Right? So, what is the main reason? Why do we offer prayers? Why do the devotees offer prayers? So the first thing that is that we should tell Krishna what tattva we understand about him. Right? So whenever all of you get a chance to have darshan of Krishna, so what you should do first? What you will tell him? You should tell Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. First thing you should say, you are beyond three modes of nature. Right? That is the first thing. And then, you are present when there is no creation. You are the one who is maintaining the creation. And you will be present after the creation. Right? All this tattva, whatever tattva we understand about Krishna, we should tell him. Yeah, this is what I understand about you. Then Krishna is okay. What you are saying is correct. Come with me. Right? Come with me. Otherwise, if you don't, so there is one verse. Nivrutta tarsher upagiyamanat bhavaushadi shrotra manobhiramat. You know what is this shrotra manobhirama? Shrotra manobhirama. Prabhupada explains that the words of Krishna Katha, simply the words of Krishna Katha are pleasing to the ears. But when one understands the tattva, the meaning of Krishna Katha behind, it is pleasing to the mind. Right? Understand? Manobhiramat means this is the meaning. Those words of Krishna Katha, when they fall into the ear, they are very pleasing to the ears. But when you understand the tattva behind Krishna Katha, it is pleasing to the mind. So it is very important to know the meaning of all the pastimes of the Lord. So anybody who wants to understand Krishna tattva completely, they should by heart this chapter, 14th chapter, and then, so all great personalities, Lord Shiva, he offered prayers in 24th chapter. That tattva, Krishna tattva that he delineates in the 24th chapter by Lord Shiva is beyond comparison. Wonderful. Complete. If you want to understand Krishna, you must read the chapter very thoroughly. Chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. Right? So here Lord Brahma, in the 39th verse, he says, Anujanihi Mam Krishna Sarvam Tam Vetsi Sarvadruk Tvameva Jagatam Natho Jagad Etat Tava Arpitam. Right? This is verse number 39. So in this verse number 39, Krishna is, my dear Krishna, I now humbly request permission to leave. Actually, you are the knower of and seer of all things. Indeed, you are the Lord of all the universes. And yet, I offer this one universe unto you. So, this 39th verse, Lord Brahma is taking permission from Krishna. Anujanihi. So, in this regard, Sri Vishwanath Thakur comments that Krishna seemed to be telling him, it seems, you are saying you don't know anything about me and my powers and all. But actually, Brahma, I also don't know anything much about you, your powers and your creation and all that. So when Lord Brahma heard, it seems, he became very flabbergasted and he was very confused. He did not know what to say. That is why he's saying, my dear Lord, I want to go now. Why? Because I have, actually, I'm very fallen. Because you did not respond in anything to my prayers. I think I am disturbing you. I don't deserve to live in Brindavan anymore. I will go back to my most fallen planet, Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka. So here the word Krishna represents, that, my dear Krishna, please make my heart and the mind become attracted to Vrindavan, and in future give me a place in Vrindavan. Then Lord Brahma told, my dear Lord, I have asked you for benediction to become a grass in Vrindavan. You did not even bother to lift your eyes and cast a glance upon me. That means you did not respond at all. That means I don't deserve to be present in Vrindavan anymore, because you didn't say yes or no. So I should go now. My dear Lord, I think I have offended you by separating you from your boyfriends when you are enjoying lunch pastimes. So that is why, please hear this very carefully. He says that I did not get the good fortune of hearing your nectarian words. Even one nectarian word I could not hear from you. I think better I go from here. So please give me permission. Like that. Madhuraya gira valguvakyaya buddhamanojnaya pushkarekshana vidikaririma viramuhyati adarasiduna ya apyayashvanaha. So Brahmaji is crying because Krishna's words are Madhuraya gira, very, very nectarian. Then Madhuraya gira valguvakyaya, buddhamanojnaya pushkarekshana. Even the great scholars and intellectuals and advanced devotees also, they want to hear from the lips of Krishna's lotus mouth. Right? When the news was spread that Krishna is going to go to Hastinapur as a Rajdut, all the sages, Narad Muni and great sages, Vishwamitra Muni, everybody, those who are impossible to be seen by ordinary people. If one devotee, he wanted to see Narad Muni. So when Narad Muni appeared, he told that, you cannot see me. No, I want to see. Then when he actually saw, he lost his eyesight because he was so effulgent, more than like a sun rays, like that. So all of them, they are so effulgent and they descended down. They descended down. And then they are waiting on the road when the Krishna came out. Right? And then Krishna asked, hey, what are you doing here, Narad and all? He said, my dear Lord, we want to come with you. to Hastinapur. He said, why? Why you want to come with me? Because we are anticipating that you are going to speak something in Rajya Sabha of Hastinapur. We want to hear. Every word of Krishna is Animutyam. Animutyam is a precious pearl, that comes out from his Krishna's mouth. Right? So they are nectar, Madhuraya Gira, Adaramritam. There are, how many Adaramritams are there? Can anybody say? बोलो गुड्डू, कितने अधरामृत कितने हैं? अरे कितने बार मैंने बोलता है, बोला ऐसा, broken record, I keep telling this. बोलो, 3 Adharamritams available? Huh? From Krishna's mouth. Right? Adharamritam. Right? Gopis are always saying, right? Please give us Adharamritam. Vitara Veranas te Adharamritam. They keep on saying, please give us Adharamritam. So what is that Adharamritam? Huh? Krishna's flute song, right? Krishna's flute. Huh? Krishna's flute gana. And then Krishna's smile. And then Krishna's words. So people usually they understand that Adharamritam means kissing and all. But that is another thing. Adhara Amritam. Adhara Amritam means Dhara Amritam, Adhara Amritam. Dhara Amritam means material sense gratification. Right? Dhara Amritam. Adhara Amritam means transcendental sense gratification. Right? Transcendental Amritam. So, each and every word that Krishna spoke in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, it is Adharamritam. So Brahmaji is crying that, my dear Lord, I did not get a chance to hear this. I didn't have this good fortune of hearing one word from you. One word from you. This is so very wonderful, Krishna comes and speaks to you. It's a most wonderful. Tell those Matajis, not to speak. Then here in this verse, next text number 42, it is said in Telugu there is a saying, Maunam Ardhangikaram. You heard? Maunam Ardhangikaram means you say something to that person and then he remains silent. That means Adha agreement. Like that. One of my godbrothers, he became a guru. Right? I asked him, did you take permission from Guru Maharaj? He said, actually I went and told Maharaj that I want to become guru. He remained silent. And he's a Telugu guy, So, Maunam Ardhangikaram kadandi. So, it is like that. That's why I like that. So, here, Maunam, Samatam. So, it is said that if somebody remains silent, that means he is agreed. So, here, Krishna has agreed because Brahmaji is offering prayers, so wonderful prayers. And then he did not speak one word. And then when Brahmaji said, okay, Krishna, please give me permission, that time also Krishna remained silent. Right? Krishna remained silent. So Brahmaji understood, Krishna is giving permission, so I should go now. Right? I should go now. So he, he was like that. So what is the reason? What is the reason that Krishna did not speak? Because in the beginning, in the first verse itself, Brahmaji offered a prayer. Naumidyate abravapuse tadidambaraya gunjavatam saparipichal asanmukaya Vanyasraje Kavalavetra Vishana Venu Lakshmashriye Mrudupade Pashupangajaya. Right? So, Brahmaji saw Krishna in this form. Naumidyate Abravapase. In a cowherd boy form with dahi rice and achar in his hands. And then this peacock feather on his head, and then he is looking like a very beautiful with wearing yellowish clothes, and he is Mrudupade Pashupangajaya, Lakshmashriye Mrudupade Pashupangajaya, right? Because Vrindavan land is feeling fortunate that she is obtaining the Lakshmi wealth of Krishna's footprints, right? How many of you know why Krishna doesn't wear chappals in Vrindavan? Why Krishna doesn't wear chappal in Vrindavan? Huh? Right? That is one reason. But I will, what you call rasokti? Rasokti. I will tell you one rasokti. So Krishna thought, it seems, when Ramchandra, he was a prince, and then a very opulent, Ayodhya is very opulent kingdom. So he was wearing padukas, chappals, but for padukas also are feeling very comfortable because the whole palace and everything is adorned with cushions and all, carpets and very Kashmiri carpets and all that. So they are not feeling, the more padukas and Rama's feet also, they are not feeling any pain. But later on, when he went to for Vanvas, after Sumantra left Rama on the bank of Ganges, and then from there they have to walk. So Rama was thinking, both are feeling pain, it seems. These padukas are thinking, it seems, Arey, kya ho gaya lafda? I was so comfortable in the palace, walking on the, cushions and all. Now I was brought here walking on the, thorny tracks of forest. Kya musibat aa gaya? That is why padukas, as soon as Bharat Maharaj said, they went and sat on his head. Abhi vanvas mein nahi aayenge hum. Like that. So Rama was also feeling, pain, it seems. Then Krishna thought, it seems, that, see, in general, suppose if you are a very rich man, then suddenly if you become very poverty-stricken, then it is very, very painful. All the time, Prabhupada says, somebody rich man becomes very poverty-stricken, he always keeps, remembering the past. The past. Like that, but if somebody is a poor man and then he gets more troubles, no problem. He is already accustomed to, right? Once, one rich man went to the jail. Then he said, the astrologer, he was asking the astrologer, kitna din ke liye taklif hoga? Then he said, 1 week, 10 days, taklif hoga. Then after that I will be released. No, aadat ho jayega. He said, right? Aadat ho jayega. Like that. So Krishna thought, it seems, these guys, when I was Ramchandra, there are very intimate connect between Krishna's pastimes and Rama's pastimes. Then he thought, it seems, Krishna thought, it seems, when I was Rama, these guys, I lived very comfortably for 24 years. And then they taken away the padukas. I had so much problem walking, bare feet. After that, Bharata came and took away the padukas. I had to walk bare feet. So, better I practice right now, in the childhood only, walking bare feet. आगे जाके कोई चप्पल ले लिया तो भी चलेगा. Right? Chappal le liya to chalega. That's why Krishna did not wear chappal, it seems. This is called rasokti. This is from some Sri Vaishnavas. Like that. So, anyway, Lakshma Shriye Mridupade Pashupangajaya. So, he started with that prayer. So that is why he was actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti says, that he did not want to change the mood of that coward boy, That is why he did not respond to Brahma, because he is actually acting like a coward boy, ignorant. So Vishwanath Thakur says he is not actually pretending, it is actually ignorance, because he was so much overwhelmed by with the love of Gopis and Yashoda and all the Priyamarma Sakhas, Priyamarma Sakhas, like that. So it's not pretense or anything, he's actually feeling ignorance. Right? Like, in Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra, it is mentioned, Avijñāta Sahasramshu Vidata Dhaturuttama. So meaning of this, he is ignorant. Right? Krishna is, Avijñāta means, he is ignorant. And then Sahasramshu, he has 1000 eyes. What is the meaning? Right? Parashar Bhatta, he explains that Avijñāta means he is ignorant of the sins of his devotees. He is ignorant of sins of his devotees. Then Sahasramshu means with 1000 eyes he sees whether a devotee has done a little service. Right? So it is explained when Lord Nishingadev sat on the throne of Hiranyakashipu, why did he pierce open the heart? Because the Lord was thinking, it seems, let me see if he was always abusing me and Prahlad. If he has done any little service in his heart, if any little devotion in his heart, I will find out with that help of that devotional service, little devotional service, I will take him back. But unfortunately, he did not find any. That's why he had to take birth again, like that. So Sahasramshu means with 1000 eyes, he will see. My devotee has done any service. This person has done any service, little service. I will take him. Sahasramshu. He will find in that regard. Avijñāta means, he is ignorant of sins of his devotees. Like that. Anyway, so Vishwanath Thakur says that he is not pretending, he is actually ignorant. Like that. So, Tyagaraja Swami, there is one great Sangitkar in South India. He says that, my dear Lord, it is not very, very wonderful for you. It's not very, very wonderful for you to build the bridge across ocean. No big thing, no big deal. It's not at all very wonderful for you to kill that ferocious demon, Ravanasur's demons and Ravanasur and Kumbhakarna. But, my dear Lord, it is very, very wonderful for you how you pretended that where is Sita? Because you are Sarvajna, you are present in everybody's heart, you are present in each and every atom. How you are pretending, that where is Sita? That is, for that I will offer you. बहुत अच्छा acting किया आपने. It must be very difficult for you to act like that. Right? All of us, we also act, right? At least as if we are very great devotees. Like one of our devotees, he says, all of us, we should get, was it Oscar award. So many years we pretend, I am such a nice devotee. Like that. Oscar award should be given to all of us. Right. So, how, like that. Itna acha acting kiya, Mother Parvati became Sachidevi became very bewildered. All of you heard that story, but there is some more extension to the story. It is in Varaha Purana. So, Sachidevi asked, why are you acting like this? Like an ordinary man, embracing the trees, embracing the latas, plants and all, embracing the animals. Where is Sita? Where is Sita? Where is Sita? Where is Sita? Like that. Ramchandra revealed one secret. There are some people, sages and all, who were practiced a lot of austerity and all, and they were supposed to be delivered. But they have taken birth as trees and animals and all, and waiting to be delivered. And they are waiting for my arrival. Just like a ordinary man, in ordinary consciousness, if I keep embracing the trees, असली में वो लोग पागल समझेगा, right? कौन है animal? Of course, animals go. But actually, with the pretext of being mad after Sita, I'm embracing, I'm hugging all these trees and all to deliver them. They are all sages. Oh, okay. Like that. So, this is a very wonderful pastime. So, actually, uh, there are, the whole chapter is full of tattva, right? If you cannot actually memorize the verses, at least go to Krishna book and then read the chapter again and again, so that you know all the prayers at least in prose form, right? In prose form, like that. It's very important. So there are all the verses are very important. Now is closing, so let us little again refresh some of the tattva presented by Brahmaji. All the verses are very important, but 3 verses at least all of you should remember. All of us we should remember, right? First one is Naumidyate abravapuse tadidambaraya gunjavatamsa paripicha lasanmukaya vanyashraje kavalavetra vishanavenu lakshmashriye mridupade pashpangajaya. You know this verse? Very good. You know this verse? Huh? All of you please remember this verse. This is Rupa Dhyanam. Right? Rupa Dhyanam. So, in order to defeat impersonalism in our heart, we should always, Prabhupada says in 3rd Canto Bhagavatam, we should always contemplate the form of the Lord in the temple. Right? We should see the form of the Lord very carefully. Prabhupada writes in 4th Canto Bhagavatam, Madirekshana. Madirekshana means you become like a bee. You make your eyes like a bee. And then you drink the nectar of honey of Krishna's lotus face by intensely looking at Krishna, like our Sadhu Charan Prabhu. Right? So Prabhupada says, it is not easy to stand in front of the deity and look at the many of them, they take darshan of, chandelier, right? Many people, they come and, itna acha. I tell them, Lord is there. Right? Lord is there. Like that. So we should actually, now we have the facility of, sharing the photographs, and then they are all shared on WhatsApp. Take out the mobile and then stare at the form of the Lord. So Rupa Dhyanam. And then Jnane Prayasa Udapasya Namantayeva Jivanti Sanmukaritam Bhavadiya Vartam Stane Stita Shrutigatam Tanuvan Manobhir E Prayasa Jita Ajita Asitais Trilokya. You know this verse? How many of you know this verse? Very good. And then Tatte Nukampam Susuvikshamanam Gunjana Yevatma Kritam Vipakam Tadvagva Purbir Vidadan Namaste Jivetaya Muktipade Sadaya Bhag. So Prabhupada says this verse should be the basis of our living. A Vaishnava should lead his life based on this verse. Our life should revolve around this verse. Right? When Bharat Maharaj, he was asked, what is, there was so much turmoil and there are so many mishaps happened in, Ayodhya, and people are very grief-stricken. Ayodhya became like, very barren and all. So, what is the cause of your suffering and our suffering and all that? So, when Bharat Maharaj came back from the forest, after meeting Ramchandra and all, so somebody asked, Ayodhya-vasis asked Bharat, said, what is the reason? Then he said, very interesting, it is called Ramayanam mein, it is called Ratna Shloka. It's a pendant verse. He said, na mantarya na cha matarasya. You know, dosho na rajan na cha ragavasya. Mat papa eva atra nimittam asit vanapraveshe raghunandanasya. Manthara is not responsible for this. Don't blame her. Because after all, she is a maid servant. What do you expect from a maid servant? Srila Prabhupada says, if a maid servant doesn't steal, she is not a maid servant. कोई ब्राह्मण है मेड हमारा काम वाली चोरी नहीं करती है, इसका मतलब वो ब्राह्मण है. राइट, यू कैनॉट एम्प्लॉय हर. मेड सर्वेंट मीन्स ही शुड स्टील. राइट, आपका बाद में कभी गुरु बनेगा, आपका सर्वेंट स्टीलिंग नहीं का अलग बात. राइट, like that. So she is a maid servant. What do you expect from her? Right? And then na matarasya, don't blame. Kaikeyi is also not responsible because she is a mother. What do you expect? A mother has intense affection for her son. Out of affection for the son, she can do anything. राइट, ऐसा बोलते रहते ना डायलॉग्स, मेरा बेटा फैमिली के लिए मैं कुछ भी कर सकती हूँ. माँ बोलती रहती है, मेरा बेटा खुशी के लिए, मेरे बेटे का खुशी के लिए कुछ भी कर सकती हूँ. वो पत्नी को अलग कर देगी. राइट, ऐसा सास बहू स्टोरीज जो होता रहता है. वो बेटे का खुशी के लिए बोलती है. लाइक दैट, बेटे का खुशी के लिए. सो शी कैन डू एनीथिंग, ए मदर कैन डू एनीथिंग. देन Doshana Rajan, don't blame Raja, Dashrath Maharaj, because he is obliged. He is supposed to fulfill his promise to his wife. So don't blame Dashrath Maharaj. And then even Ramchandra, Nacharagavasya, what can Rama do? Because he is a son. He is, he is supposed to carry out the duties of a son. And then he is supposed to establish standard for everybody to come. Then what is the cause? मेरे पाप के वजह से. Because of my sinful acts, all this suffering is happening. So Maharaj Bharat was saying. So this should be the basis of our life. When we understand, when we accept blame for on ourselves, and then without blaming others for our suffering, when we understand that the cause of my suffering is myself, my prarabdha karma, my offenses. Vishwanath Chakravarti says in the purport to this verse, devotees suffer because of two reasons. One is because of offenses committed to other Vaishnavas. Other is by Krishna's arrangement. By Krishna's arrangement. And then, so when a corn, when a person understands his mistakes and blames himself, it is like sitting on a fire. So when a corn sits on the fire, it becomes popcorn. Right? It becomes a popcorn, and then it is very tasty, right? So like that, when we understand that we blame ourselves for our own sins and for our own suffering, and we don't blame others, right? And then we actually thank Krishna for reducing our suffering, then we will become natural heirs to Golok Vrindavan. Right? There is one very nice verse from 7th canto, 10th chapter. Prabhupada says, this is how devotees should live. Right? You can remember that verse. Bhogena punyam, kushalena papam, kalevaram, kalajavena hitva. Right? Kirtim vishuddham, suraloka gitam, virat evasyasi mukta bandhanaha. So he says, Lord Nrsingadev is speaking to this to Prahlad Maharaj. So Prabhupada says, this is how devotees should live. What is that? Bhogena punyam, kushalena papam. Right? Bhogena punyam, kushalena papam. You nullify your pious activities by enjoying. By enjoying. And then kushalena papam. By kushalena means, kushala means intelligence. Kushalena papam. So a devotee of Krishna, by practicing sadhana bhakti, he nullifies sinful reactions. Prabhupada says, in this material world, one should live, one should learn the expertise how to live in this world. Right? So when you are enjoying, so all your punya is getting reduced. And it is required also. Right? That is why it is said that in Padma Purana it is said that whenever I think this is my house, somebody says this is my house, some punya is reduced. Somebody says this is my car, some punya is reduced. Punya, you keep on saying, my, me, bakra jaisa me karega na, सारे पुण्य खत्म हो जाएगा. Right? इसलिए we should say Krishna का है ना. That is why I don't know now they teach you in the yeah yeah, you still do it. Yeah. So like that. We should, so Bhogena Punyam and Kushalena Papam. Right? Kushalena Papam, it is very important. Yeah. So Prabhupada says, as long as we live in this material world, we actually tend to, even though we don't know, we don't want, we tend to commit sinful activities. And then we do punyas also. So as long as both are there, punya and papa, both are not required. Both are not, because devotees sometimes, if they show compassion, material compassion, then they acquire good karma. Then further they have to take birth again. Right? They have to take birth again. That is why we should never do social welfare activities. Right? If you do social welfare activity, you will take birth again. Ah, very nice. Everybody praises you. Dawa de raha hai, ye kar raha hai, wo kar raha hai. Right? If you do, then if you are supplying dawa, giva and all, then you will take birth again. Only devotional service you should do. Like that. So, people, that is the required. Right? So, Prabhupada says, a devotee should know the expertise, you should have the expertise to live in this world. Finish off both punya and papa. Then, kalevaram kala javena hitva. Then, by the influence of time, you leave the body. Right? Then you will come back to me. So that should be the principle. Like that. There is a very beautiful verse. Dussaha preshta viraha tivratapa duta shubha dhyana prapta achyuta slesha dhyana prapta nirvritya kshina mangala. This is from Rasa Pantadhyaya, 10th verse, 29th chapter, like that. So when Krishna called the Gopis by playing flute, all the Gopis they ran towards Krishna, and some of the Gopis they could not reach Rasasthali. So this shloka is about them. Very, very important shloka, Dussaha Preshta Viraha. Because their intense, because of Viraha from Preshta, their beloved, which is intolerable, Dussaha Preshta Viraha. Because of feeling intense separation from Krishna, they suffered so much, like going to hell or something, like that. Intense hell. Then they actually, Tivratapa Duta Ashubhaha. Because of Tivratapa, intense suffering, whatever sins are there, they are destroyed. And they sat down and dhyana prapta achyuta aslesha. Because of intense meditation on Krishna's wonderful form, Krishna appeared and then they embraced Krishna. Because of embracing Krishna, they experience so much pleasure that all their punya got destroyed. Is it clear? Because of feeling separation from Krishna, intense separation from Krishna, they experienced intense suffering, tivra tapa. Because of that, all their sins got nullified, destroyed. And because of intense meditation on Krishna, Krishna appeared, and then when they embraced Krishna. Right? There is a process, why, sometimes, the devotees, when they see Krishna, they close their eyes. You know why? Huh? No. So some of the devotees, because they know that Krishna is very chanchal, he will go away. So they take Krishna and transfers Krishna, through their apertures of their eyes to the heart, and they embrace Krishna very tightly, and they experience intense ecstasy like that. So we can also do that. So it is. So because of that, so what is it in it for us? So Vishwanath Chakravarti comments that those devotees who sympathize with the gopis suffering because of separation from Krishna, just remember, those devotees who sympathize and who hear about gopis suffering because of separation from Krishna, their millions and millions of sins that are equivalent to the fires of the subterranean hells, they get destroyed in 1 minute. समझ में है? हाँ? अनंत रूप समझ में है? If you sympathize and hear about the gopis suffering because of separation from Krishna, the sins of suffering from millions of subterranean hells, fires, they get destroyed, everything. And then when we hear about gopis' happiness, millions of punya karma gets nullified. This is the right. So this is called. That is why Sridhar Swami says, this rasa panchayat is kama vijay lila. Because if you have punya or if you have papa, then only lust arises. Right? If you have punya also, you think that you will get I will marry a very nice devotee girl. Then I will enjoy like that. If you have papa, then you will say you will do some nonsense, right? Because of papa and punya only you indulge in lust, right? Like that. If papa punya is not there, right? No marriage, no illicit sex, right? both are gone. If you have punya, you will get married. If you have papa, we will do illicit stuff. But if there is no punya, no papa, gone. Like that. So by hearing, that is why it's called Kama Vijay Leela. Like that. Anyway, so that is the one lesson. Then Jnane Prayasa Udapasya Namantiva Jivanti Sanmukharitam Bhavadiya Vartam Sthane Sthita Shuddhigatam Tanuvan Manobir E Prayasa Jita Ajita Asita Trilokya. प्रसादम 9:30 9:15 क्या है? फीस्ट ना टुडे? So this verse, even though Krishna did not speak one word, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are very, very fortunate, Krishna giving commentary on Bhagavatam. What is Chaitanya Charitamrita? Krishna giving commentary on Bhagavatam. That is why there is one chapter, Opulences of Krishna. Opulence of Krishna, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela. Sanatana Goswami. Mahaprabhu, he is describing the beauty of Krishna. And this Brahma Vimohan Leela he described in that pastime. Then he described that Dwaraka Leela also, that Dwaraka Vimohan Leela also. Like that. And they said, he was describing Krishna's beauty so wonderfully. Then he said, hey Sanatan, I became mad, I wanted to tell something and then I am telling something else. Then again he came back on the tracks. Like that. So it is, Krishna is known as Ajita. But he can be, so Mahaprabhu accepted this verse. Yes, this is it. Because Ramananda Rai was saying something, so many things. Sarvadharman Parichaya, this and that. Brahmabhuta Prasannatma and all that. Varnashrama Charavata and all that. He was kept on saying, Eho Bahya. This is external. But when he came on to this verse, Jnane Prayasa Udapasya Namanteva, he said, yes, this is it. He accepted. Yeah, this is the process. What is the process? Simply sit and hear Krishna Katha. Right? What happens if you hear Krishna Katha? Sa uttama shloka mahan mukachyuto bhavat padamboja sudakanalilihi. Right? Smritir punar vismrita tattva vatmanam kuyoginam no vitarati alamvaraihi. Right? This is the verse from Pruthumara's prayer. Very wonderful verse. Prabhupada wrote a very beautiful purport. He says, my dear Lord, those who hear the words from the lips of pure devotees, when they hear Bhavat Padamboja Sudhakunalili, those pure devotees, the saffron dust particles from your lotus feet, they come in touch with the lips of the pure devotees. When the pure devotees, they speak, when Prabhupada was speaking, then they fall on, those saffron dust particles fall on the listeners. Right? Whenever you are reading Prabhupada books, all the saffron dust particles, they come and fall on us. Right? Then what happens? Smritir punar vismrita tattva vatmanam. We have forgotten our relationship with Krishna. I am eternal servant of Krishna. That tattva we have forgotten. Again, we will remember. Right? This is a... Prabhupada says in the purport that, when the pure devotee speaks, it looks like a vibration of some material sounds. But no, they are directly, when a pure devotee speaks, he is directly in touch with the saffron dust particles that are falling from the lotus feet of Krishna. Right? I will... Yad anucharita leela karna piyusha viprat sakrit adana Vidhuta Dvandva Dharma Vinishta Shapadi Gruha Kutumbam Deenam Usrijya Deenaha Bahvaya Iha Vihanga Bhikshucharam Charanti. There is no better shloka than this in the whole Bhagavatam. The best shloka, I can say. Yad Anucharita Leela Karna Piyusha Viprat. This verse is spoken by Srimati Radharani. That she is saying that anybody who hears Krishna Katha, even a little sakrit, a small drop of Krishna Katha, nectar that falls into their ears, their Dvanda Dharma Vinasta, their duality, material duality life is destroyed. Then what happens? They become beggars in Vrindavan. Right? They become beggars in Vrindavan. So, please don't read Prabhupada books. If you read Prabhupada books, what happens? It is said that it is very, very, the Krishna Katha is very, very nectarian. If anybody hears Krishna Katha, and then is very pleasing to the ears, but what to speak of those people who hear, and understand Krishna Katha, Krishna Tattva behind these pastimes. So, if you understand Krishna Tattva, nectar of Krishna pastimes, what happens? You will become Dvanda Dharma Vinasta. Means Dvanda Dharma Vinasta means the propensity for family affection is destroyed. This family affection is because of duality, right? Dvandva. So if you hear, don't hear Krishna Katha. If you hear Krishna Katha, what happens? Dvandva dharma vinasta. Your duality of material life will be destroyed. So what happens if that Dvandva dharma vinasta ho gaya to? Then a you will lose affection for your family members. If a wife hears Krishna Katha and becomes attracted, then she will give up affection for her husband. If the husband hears Krishna Katha, he will give up affection for his wife. If a mother hears Krishna Katha, she will give up affection for children. And then if the children hear Krishna Katha, they will give up affection for parents. And then their lives will be ruined. Total, vinasta means, Radharani is saying, total ruination. Right? Total ruination. So, if somebody hears Krishna Katha, actually those who hear Krishna Katha, their hearts are very soft-hearted. They are very soft-hearted people. Even those soft-hearted people hear Krishna Katha, their hearts become hard-hearted, they become hard-hearted, they become merciless, and they become ungrateful like Krishna. Like Krishna. So even if these family members become bereft of even if there is no food for tomorrow also, you heard Krishna Katha today, then you decided to leave and then join ISKCON. Even if you know that they are going to die because of lack of food, you will leave them and come back. Anything, such a thing happened? Actually, it happened to many devotees, right? Like when I was about to join, my mother threatened that I will commit suicide. I said, go ahead, do it. My father, my son, Kuhanga Pakshis, they are vilap kar rahe the, like Kuranga Pakshis. There are many brahmacharis who never went and met their parents, right? They didn't look back, अभी तो हम तो कभी कभी जाते रहे लेकिन some brahmacharis are there, they never met their parents again. बस अरे क्या होगा, some of them are like, families are dependent on them. I said, right? That is, madness, like that. Then one Gopi asked, what will these people do? No, these devotees are so mad that not only they don't care for their parents and all, family members and all, they don't care for themselves also because they are so much in hurry, they don't even tie few coins in their chadar. They just leave. Like that. So what do? They come to Brindavan. Then what do they do in Brindavan? They pick up some gehu ka atta, something, all these, some of them, they vidava aurat, they collect some gehus and all, like that. So they live like birds. And they come to Brindavan and they suffer like us in our association. What is the nature of this Krishna Katha? Then Adharan is saying, this nature of Krishna Katha is like a combination of very sweet sugarcane juice and powdered seeds of Datura plant. Datura plant. And those guys who sit on the Vyasasana and speak, they are murderers in the guise of a saint. In the guise of a saint. And all these scriptures like Bhagavatam and all, it is a net. It is a net to catch the innocent people. And all these speakers, they tuck Bhagavatam under their arms and go around looking for innocent people and destroy their lives. And his main agents are Vyasa, Narada, Valmiki and all. Vyasa, Narada, Valmiki and all. Why? Because all these scriptures, they talk about Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and all. So Krishna's only job is, acting like a Supreme Personality of Godhead and attracting people. And his only consciousness is how to give suffering to Gopis. How to give suffering to the Gopis. So his only concern is that, so he will spread this net all over the universe. He will attract people because his name is Krishna, and then simply put them to suffering. But actually these Vyasa and all these speakers are not responsible for the suffering of the people, because Krishna is the main. So he will get the papa. He will get the reaction. Right? So wonderful. This is called Vyajya Stuti. Right? Actually, praising the Krishna Katha, but actually criticizing. Vyajya Stuti. Like that. So, anyway, I Naumidyate Abravab say that Rupa Dhyanam is also very, very important. Anyway, it's not much time. So we should actually, these three verses, Rupa Dhyanam, Shravana Mahima, and then how to lead our life so that Kushalena, with expertise. What is that? That verse, you should always remember. Whenever you become angry with your perpetrator, remember that verse. Tatyen Kampam, Susvikshmanam, and then 7.10.13. Bhogena Punyam, Kushalena Papam. Kalevaram, Kala Javena Hitva. Like that. And then there is so much description of Krishna's beautiful form all over Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. We should actually Rupam Bhagavato Yattad Mana Kanta Shuchapaham Apashyan Sahasotasta Vaikalya Durmanaiva. So Narada Muni, even for a few seconds he saw the beautiful form of Krishna. All his mental incongruities are destroyed. Like that. So when we that impersonalism goes away from our heart and then become attracted to the beautiful form of Krishna. Like that is why Lord Shiva explains Snigdha Pravritta Ganashyamam Sarva Saundarya Sangraham. Krishna's beauty is the embodiment of collection of all beauties in this world, universe. Charvayuta Chaturbahu Sujata Ruchirananam. So Lord Shiva is explaining. Some other time I will explain that verse. So this is everywhere, the beautiful form of the Lord is described, and then we should read those narrations of Krishna's beauty. So one of the most beautiful verse, Tad Yad Dharma Suno Bataraja Suya. You know this? Anybody knows this? You know this? Yad Dharma Suno Bataraja Suya. Niriksha Drik Swastayanam Triloka. Karsnena Chadyeha Gatam Vidatur. Arvak Shrutav Kaushalam Iti Amanyata. It's a very, very beautiful verse. When all the people who have assembled in the assembly of Mayasabha for a Rajasuya sacrifice, Yad Dharma Suno Bata Rajasuya. Nirikshadruk, because people from Sindhu Desh and Yavana Desh, Turkey and all, they all came. They never seen Krishna. So they didn't know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. So they all, felt, oh, who is this beautiful personality, Krishna? I think, Karsnena Chadyeha Gatam Vidatur, Arvak Shruto, Kaushalam Iti Amanyata. Brahmaji must have used all his creative skills to make this body. Right? To make this body. This is a verse from 3rd canto, 2nd chapter. Uddhava speaks this verse. So, even Bhishmadev also expressed the same sentiments. That, right? So, in 11th canto Bhagavatam, it is explained that when Krishna appeared, he is so beautiful. Whoever has seen him, Krishna has stolen his vision. Then whoever heard Krishna's words, Krishna has stolen his hearing capacity. And then whoever has seen Krishna walking, Krishna has taken away his walking capacity. Right? They became stunned. they became stunned like that. So, so we should actually meditate, remember Krishna's beauty all the time. Then we can. So that verse you can remember, and then that verse, and then Brahma Barha Pidam Natavar Vapuhu Karnayo Karnikaram Vibradvashaka Kanakapisham Vaijayanti Shmalam Randran Veno Radar Sudama Purian Gopa Vrindair Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishad Gita Kirtihi. So this is the verse. We should remember Krishna's form again and again, whole day, every day. So like that. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments?
हरे कृष्ण। और हरे कृष्ण प्रभु, एक चीज़ बता रहे थे कि कथा सुनने की और एक महिमा है। आप पिछले क्लास में बताए थे कि यदा यदा इन धर्म से, जब भगवान जैसे अवतार होते हैं तो जब हम कथा सुनते हैं तो भगवान हमारे हृदय में परमात्मा रूप से बंसी वाले प्रकट हो जाते हैं। ये बता रहे थे सुनने की महिमा। और प्रश्न है कि जब भगवान के सारे ग्वाल बाल ब्रह्मा जी लेकर चले गए थे तो खुद मतलब ग्वाल बाल बन गए थे 1 साल के लिए। तो फिर भगवान की जितना प्रेम था वो ग्वाल बाल में गोपियों का, ब्रजवासियों का प्रेम उसमें दिखने लगा 1 साल तक। तो फिर 1 साल के बाद फिर भगवान अपना विस्तार ख़त्म कर दिए। फिर मतलब मूल जो ब्रह्मा जी लेकर गए थे फिर वो वापस आ गए। तो फिर प्रेम क्या घट गया था कि उतना ही था
अपने बच्चों के प्रति?
हाँ,
या घट गया, क्योंकि वो लोग सिर्फ कृष्ण को प्रेम करते हैं। दैट इज व्रजवासी का डेफिनेशन है ना। कोई भी माता अपने पुत्र को छोड़ के दूसरों का पुत्र को प्रेम नहीं करती है। दैट एनी माता, एनी मदर, राइट? फर्स्ट अपना बेटे को प्यार करेगी, उसके बाद ही। लेकिन व्रजवासी का मतलब अपना बेटे को प्यार नहीं करती है, सिर्फ कृष्ण को प्यार करती है। वो व्रजवासी का डेफिनेशन है।
बहुत धन्यवाद, बढ़िया क्लास प्रभु। जो आपने कहा कि राजा भरत ने कहा कि मैं पापी हूँ, ना मेरे कोई जो रामायण के जो राम को वनवास जाने के लिए जो कारणभूत थे वो कोई नहीं, मैं पापी हूँ। तो ज़रा इसके ऊपर प्रकाश डालिए कि भगवान तो, भरत तो कोई सामान्य नहीं है, वो चतुर्व्यूह में से एक है। तो कौन से पाप के वजह से ये सब घटना घटी?
आपको भगवत गीता समझना है तो भरत महाराज का स्टोरी अच्छे से पढ़ने का करके आचार्य लोग बोलते हैं। क्योंकि भगवत गीता के बीच में, रामायण के बीच में बहुत गहरी संबंध है। भगवत गीता, देयर इज ए सार श्लोक ऑफ भगवत गीता, यत प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततः स्वकर्मणा तम अभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिर्विन्दति मानवा। ये श्लोक एक सार श्लोक जैसा है। वो श्लोक को कैसा फॉलो करना है भरत महाराज का स्टोरी से, व्यवहार से हमको सीखना चाहिए। तो हमको सिखा रहे उसको क्या पाप है, राइट? रामचंद्र भगवान उसका बाल में हाथ डाल के उसको संवर रहा था। इतना प्यार था। उन्होंने बोला, रामचंद्र भगवान बोला, भाई ये तो भरत जैसा, राइट? बहुत लोग पूछते हैं लक्ष्मण जैसा क्यों नहीं बोला, राइट? कौन बोल सकते हैं, क्या कारण है?
बताइए।
हाँ,
अब बताइए।
एनीबडी नोस? यू नो व्हाट्स योर नेम प्रभु?
बताइए।
Right? When Vibhishan Saranagati time, Lakshman was protesting. Arey, what is this? His brother is in trouble. Now war is at the doorstep. Shatru Sena is at the doorstep. And then, however bad he is, such an emergency circumstance, he should not have left his brother and come. So, what kind of brother he is? If he is not a good brother, how can he become a good servant or a friend. So you should not take him. Lakshman was suggesting. Then Rama said, हर भाई भरत जैसा नहीं होता है लक्ष्मण. Right? So there is a reason. Lakshman was not offered kingdom. See, हमारा मंदिर है, छोटा छोटा टेम्पल से, हमारा मंदिर ठीक है, छोड़ दो, अपलेंट टेम्पल है, somebody become president means big thing. तो छोटा छोटा मंदिर का प्रेसिडेंट भी अपना पोस्ट छोड़ने का नहीं चाहते हैं. Right? Power is such, very difficult to give up power. More difficult to give up sex life is giving up power. सेक्स लाइफ छोड़ देंगे, लेकिन ISKCON का पदवी अच्छा नहीं छोड़ेगा. राइट? कि जस्ट इमेजिन giving up the power of post of Ayodhya king, and how opulent, whole world kings there, whole earth they are ruling, except Sri Lanka. Right? Bharat Maharaj gave it up. लक्ष्मण को तो कुछ त्यागने का कुछ है ही नहीं. हमेशा भिक्षुक ही है वो. So that is the reason. इतना, there is one great Sri Vaishnava Acharya. He says, after they came back from Vanvas, there is a beautiful millen of two Mahatmas. He explained very nicely. Now the very beautiful Mahatma, wonderful incident is going to occur, because two Mahatmas are going to मिलन. वो दो महात्मा कौन है? एक सीता, दूसरा भरत. क्यों? अरे भरत उसका दिया हुआ किंगडम को टुकरा दिया. राइट? फॉर रामचंद्र. एंड देन सीता जी, रावणासुर सेड, अरे तुमको महारानी बनाऊंगा और मंडोदरी तुम्हारा सेवा करेगी. हाँ, टुकरा दी. सो इतना दोनों महात्मा का पुनर्मिलन. So very wonderful incident like that they are explained. Like that, it's a great. So that is why हर भाई भरत जैसा. हरे कृष्णा. धन्यवाद.
हरे कृष्ण.